Good morning, everyone. It's nice to see you all here so bright and early. 9:30 in the morning, wow. You are dedicated. We welcome you today to our social media information, blogging, whatever that means. Well, I hope we will find out when Jackie gets finished with her presentation this morning. Let me tell you a little bit about Jackie Waddy-Jones. She's an ACB and a CL. Does everybody know what that means? That means Advanced Communicator Bronze and Competent Leader. She serves as the district social media administrator on Facebook page. She is the current Vice President of Public Relations of the River City Toastmasters Club. And since joining Toastmasters International in 2009, Jackie has competed in numerous contests, organized events, and served in several leadership roles, such as Vice President of Education, a Club Secretary, and the Vice President of Public Relations. Jackie is an avid blogger and is the founder of Character Kids, that's KIDZ development program, whose mission is to eradicate bullying and violence among children. She conducts interactive presentations on this topic for schools and community organizations. You can check out this information on her blog, and she will tell you about how to do that, where she regularly posts contents of bullying, conflict resolution, and violence prevention. Should have served coffee. That gets the teeth untwisted there. So again, welcome everyone, and welcome Jackie Waddy-Jones.
Good morning.
Good morning.
I cannot believe how hot it is in St. Louis. I was thinking, man, somebody told me, I stopped at McDonald's, they said, you're looking awful spring-like. And I'm like, oh yeah, I brought all the flowers with me, trying to make sure I stay cool. So hopefully, you all will be just as cool as I am, because we are going to learn a lot within the short amount of time that we have about blogging. So let me start. First of all, I want to welcome you to the Blogging Connections Workshop that is co-sponsored by Toastmasters International District 8 Clubs, Smedly Hometown Memorial Toastmasters, and River City Toastmasters that meet here every Thursday at 7 p.m. You got that? Mark your calendars. River City meets here every Thursday. When?
7 p.m.
Okay, you all have to help me now. Don't fall asleep. River City meets here every Thursday at 7 p.m. And I, as Mary said, I'm Toastmaster Jacqueline Waddy-Jones, and I am an avid blogger. But my job is to serve as your presenter today to teach you the basics on blogging fundamentals. And trust me, it's not as hard as you think. So, let's get started. I want you all to sit back and relax, and I assure you that I'll be able to educate, motivate, and teach you the basics on how to get connected in cyberspace. Now, of course, unless you had your head up under a rock or buried in the sand, you probably have heard the term blogging. What is blogging, you ask? Blogging is basically known as a weblog. It's a journal that you create on the internet. And blogging is something that most people think is so difficult, but within less than a half an hour, you, with very little experience, can learn how to blog. Because it's not complicated. I'll make sure that by the end of this presentation, it's easy to understand. It also requires only basic skills, such as being able to have an email address or something as simple as knowing how to turn on your computer, knowing how to maneuver through a search engine, and of course, having less fears and apprehension about viruses and all the things that you can catch just because you went into cyberspace. It's a little FYI for you. Did you all know that blogging has actually been in existence since the late 90s? And blogging was originally called weblogs. The phrase was coined as being we blog. We blog means that you, the blogger, create an online diary, sort of a post of what you want your audience to see. Can you all see that okay? If you can't, flip through some of your handouts because some of the information is also on your handouts. So therefore, you create an online diary. And most people, when they started to blog in the early 90s, they blogged about everything from their stamp collection to their kids and activities that they wanted to share basically with a small group of friends and family. That's when the web was called www before Web 2.0. One of the main ingredients when it comes to blogging is making sure that you have a web host. A web host is what's used in order to host what you have created in a blog. So therefore, you may have commonly heard of a web host such as Blogger, which was established by Google when they purchased Parie Labs. The next one is WordPress. WordPress is also a very familiar web host. It's commonly used by a lot of professional bloggers and organizations. The other few that you may not have known, and a lot of these terms that may look foreign to you, trust me, by the end of the presentation, you'll know them. Some of the other blogging sites are Stumble Upon Us and TypePad, as well as Dig. Anybody heard of any of those sites? Have you heard of any? Okay. You would have heard of them if you were blogging. By the time I'm done, as I said, you'll know them. Another thing about blogging, along with having web hosts, there are different types of blogs. The first type, which I just described, is known as the web host. That's the first type. The web host, the web blog, is the one that you create as your online diary. The second type is a podcast. A podcast is what you kind of create with an MP3 player. You create something that's known as an audio blog. Some common audio blogs are Twitter, tweets, using 140 characters. The other blogs are known as video blogs, vlogs. Vlogs are done mostly as a video that you might see on YouTube. The other sites that you see, if you look at the top, that's signed the G+, that is Google's newest launch. It's called Google+, where you actually create networks within a network of just the people you want to connect with. You can create everything from your own personal email to network with your own group. It's kind of like a form of social networking such as Facebook, but a little bit more personalized. If you remember when Sprint used to have the little friends and family circle, well, with Google+, you create circles that actually become your network. With the other site, which is next to that, that's Technorati. Technorati is a blogging community, and trust me when I say they are enormous. Technorati is where Bridget and I might decide that we want to go and hang out in cyberspace with the other members of our community. Bloggers are known as having community networks and hosts. So Bridget and I would decide that we want to exchange information about fashion. She looks like she's an avid blogger who can handle telling me about the latest fashion, and I myself am a bargain fashionista. So we exchange information within our blog, and she tells me all the hot places to shop, and I tell her all the places not to go. And we exchange this information within our community in the, what did I say? See, I'm trying to see if you're paying attention. Cyberspace. The other, we'll discuss that, the little symbol with the orange dots, we'll discuss that later because I want to make sure that I'm not going too fast and you're saying, oh, all these technical terms. Text. Text is when you create online text on a computer that is disseminated to the audience in your internet blog. Now everybody say this with me. I will be able to do this once I have the information. That's right. We are going to focus mostly on the first type of blogging, which is your web blog. What was the first type of blogging? Web blog. Okay, you all are still with me. Because the other two are a little bit more complicated, and you should be better versed in the first type of blogging before you move on to podcasts and move on to video blogging. But if you can operate a video camera or post stuff on YouTube, you can pretty much create a video blog. That brings me to blogging categories. What do people blog about? Can you even imagine that there are as many different types of blogs as there are people? As I said before, some people blog about fashion, money, finances, marriage, flowers. But regardless of the blogs, they fall into about 5 or 6 main categories. One is an informational blog. An informational blog provides you with instruction or information on a particular topic. The next type is going to be something like an entertaining blog. Entertaining blogs are just that. They provide you very little content that's of newsworthy value. I saw a blog recently that Tom Cruise is about to go through a divorce. I was like, wow, they just got married. But girlfriend is going to get paid. Excuse me, entertaining. The next type of blog is a recommendation blog. A recommendation blog is the type where someone posts information that they recommend you either use or don't use. A lot of recommendation blogs are seen on sites such as Facebook when they ask you to hit me with a like. The next type which you'll see are inspirational blogs. Inspirational blogs provide you with content that may be spiritual, it may be motivational, it may be just content that makes you feel happy, but it inspires you in some form or fashion. Then there are the professional blogs. Did you know that since 2003, more corporations have launched blogs? Blogs are a cheap source of marketing. They're a lot less expensive than a commercial. And you can create a blog in so short of a period, have it disseminated onto cyberspace, and it reaches a global audience versus creating a flyer that only goes to your neighbor next door. So your blog goes a lot further than just having something as simple as your local newspaper. You have a question in the back?
Yes, the 6 types of categories, do they apply only to the text blogging or to video and audio blogging as well?
They apply to all types of blogs. I'm glad, that's a very good question. They apply to all types of blogs. These are the 6 main types. So these 6, so I said the informational, the entertaining, the inspirational, and the recommendations, and the next one is the niche group. I can barely say that. Just think of the target group that you want to hit. So the target group is the type of blog that you're only creating for your specific audience. I may be an avid gardener, so my blog is just for people who love to garden, who love roses. My blog doesn't apply to anyone else but rose gardeners. My blog may also, I may also decide that even though I have a blog and it applies to people who garden, I may want to make a little bit of money from my blog. Trust me, you are not going to get rich blogging, not unless you rob a bank and then you try not to tell everybody that you did. But there is a way to make money blogging, and I'll discuss that further in the presentation. The ABCs of creating content. Blogs have to have content. What is content, you ask? Content is text, graphics, and anything that you decide to add to your blog, sound, multimedia, in order to make sure that it is eye-appealing to the audience. How do you gather that content? Sometimes you do research on the internet. Sometimes you have a collection of stuff, and it may be music, and you have you're an avid music collector. You want to share all that information, so therefore you start blogging about what? Music. Are you all awake out there? I don't even hear you breathing.
Just that your voice is so mesmerizing.
Okay. I'm on videotape, so I can't reply to that. I should have put on my glasses because I keep looking over my shoulder because my eyes are tired. But can you all see this okay? You have to forgive me for looking over my shoulder a little. Maybe this will help me. I'd actually have to do this. The one thing that you do when you're creating a blog is you want to make sure that it's organized. So it doesn't look like a bunch of junk on pages. And sometimes if you go on the internet and you come across some other people's web pages, you'll think, who put this together? Like a bad outfit. You will remember it. You may not want to see it again, but you'll remember it. Another thing, if your blog is disorganized, you won't gain a lot of readers because you want to gain readers in order to have people to come back and acknowledge what you did. So if a person reads your blog, they can leave you a comment. And you have a little section that you should always post in the bottom area of your blog in order for people to know, in order for you to know who was reading your blog and to exchange comment or feedback with your new friend. Think of bloggers as your new friend that you haven't always met personally, face to face. The other thing about blogging, the A, is, as I said, you need to collect. So accumulate the information in order to have something to post. The B is be creative. Make your blog interesting, colorful, eye-appealing. If you just color things in black and white, nobody wants to see that. And of course, you always want to construct a blueprint. So you have some kind of formula that you use each and every time you go in and map out that blog. It's like your grandmother's favorite recipe. It's not going to taste as good if you hinder a little here, add a little there, mix it up this way. blogs are the same way. Create a blueprint or some type of formula that helps you to be able to master how your page layout will flow. I call her Susie Q, the design architect, because if you become like a Susie Q and think like a designer, you will always make sure that your blog has all three of these elements, no matter what type of blog you create. Accumulating your information. The symbol at the top, if you can see that, is the information symbol. And accumulating your information can be done through books or magazines. Dory, you still with me? I know you're resting your eyes. It can be done by being able to share your life experiences. It can be done by sharing your personal interests, by a matter of using the information that you've gotten from your associates. Toastmasters, you have a wealth of knowledge that you can share with other people that are not Toastmasters in order to help boost your membership. Create a blog about what we did this week in Toastmasters. Create a blog about why it's beneficial to be a Toastmaster. Create a blog about overcoming your technical glitches, overcoming your jargon. You can create a blog about almost anything, and how long or short it is up to you, because you're the architect of your blog. Someone might decide that they love to travel, such as Ray Allen, so he would have tons of information to share about his travel experiences, including sight, sound, pictures. All of that becomes sort of something that draws your audience into the blog. Remember, when you're blogging, the one thing you need to always make sure you do is follow a recipe that makes it easy to take it from A to B to C. Accumulate, be creative, and construct your blog well. You all got the ABCs? Being creative, as I said before, you want to add different colors, textures, hues, backgrounds. And the best thing about it is literally easy to do and relatively inexpensive to do. Because most blog hosts provide you with what's called background templates that you use in order to post your information on. Now some you may have to purchase, but most of them are affordable and a lot of them are free. You can add things into your blog, such as the cool graphics that you might see why used for the sun. And you might be able to add something such as multimedia, a little video clip within your blog. Can you see okay, Drew?
You block the sun.
I blocked the sun. Can you see him now? You want me to move over to this way?
Just a little
Okay.
bit.
Now if I move this way, I block the screen. If I move this way, I block the sun.
Okay.
Hold on. How's that?
Okay, that's good right there.
Now one thing that is most interesting about your blog is the multimedia. By adding something as simple as sound, and trust me, I meant to put some sound in here, but after a while, I'm like, you won't get sound today, not this one. You'll get it on the next presentation. But sound is relative to drawing in the attention of the audience. Just adding in, and you can do that by downloading most of those things for free through Microsoft Clip Art. They have tons of sound that you can download and add into your blog.
Can you add your own sound?
You can, but it's a little bit more difficult. You can add your own sounds, but you have to first record them, then have them edited into your computer, and after that, you can add those in. But you have to have that downloaded into your computer in order to add those sounds.
And that's Microsoft Clip?
Microsoft Clip Art has tons of graphics that you can use. By the way, all the slides that you see today, I customized each and every one of them. And I started off with 48 slides, and I whittled it down to about 30. But each and every one of them, I customized myself to make sure that this presentation was eye-appealing to my audience. Hope you like these cool graphics. They weren't free, but they were great. That's presentermedia.com. You go to their site, and they will provide you with the graphics and the templates to create this type of presentation. Believe it or not, you've already made it through just about the first half of the presentation. And hopefully by now you have eased some of your apprehensions and relieved some of your technical distress, and you've remembered a few of these terms that I've shared with you in order to help you to achieve blogging success. Now I have, coming up in the next few slides, I want to warn you to pay attention. You may have a few tests. Kat, you might want to slide over to that seat because you're about as short as I am, and I know you can't see this screen from there. You keep doing the dance. Blogging is all about networking socially. That's where the term social networking comes in. And both male and female blog equally about the same. Males blog about travel, sports, money, and fashion. Females blog about family, children, relationships, health and fitness, and money, very little, and fashion. Now, what do both of these bloggers have in common? Can somebody tell me? Fashion. Females are most likely to blog about affordable fashion, and males are most likely to blog about quality fashion. Another group of bloggers are organizations. Organizations use blogging because it is the cheapest form of marketing that they can use. Organizations use blogging in order to connect networks within networks. They use blogging in order to reach people who do not know about Toastmasters. So if you ask somebody, do you know about Toastmasters? They say, no, what is Toastmasters? Oh, honey, we have a blog. Then you say, come, because they're having a blogging connections workshop, and then you'll learn about more about Toastmasters. That means where? You all better wake up every Thursday. I said you'll be tested. Come on. And it's some River City people in the room. They're like, where did she say? I know it's Saturday morning. Most of you all would be asleep right now. Trust me, I would too. But I woke up. I'm going to be honest. I stayed up in order to make sure that I was ready for you people. So you wake up. Don't make me have to come out there. I'm trying to be good. Wait a minute. I have on my nice fashion. You getting this?
Oh, yeah.
I'm staying put. I have to slide a little this way, slide a little that way. You can blog about this later. But I better hear some people breathing. Breathe! Come on, wait a minute. Everybody, wait, hold on. 1 second.
Jackie, we are with you.
I know. Hold on. I don't feel the love. Everybody but Okay. Hold on. Don't write so much. You have cheat sheets. I have a cheat sheet for you.
But that's okay, we're paying close attention. We're with you.
Okay, okay. It's, we'll get one for you. Okay, excuse me, I have to take a water break. 1 second. Cameraman.
Mhm.